This is my spoiler video. If you have not finished Death Stranding and do not want the story blown free of what happens at the end, leave now. Spoiler alerts everywhere. Everywhere. Okay. I just finished it last night. I haven't cried like that in a video game. Possibly ever. Hideo Kojima, you bastard with my heartstrings. Before I get like too into this, I just want to put like a preface that I am a new mom, basically. Well, he's turning 2 in February. There's something that like, I know everybody says this, but there's something about like when you have a child, it literally changes you. And before, I would have still gotten emotional over this ending, but I don't think I would have gotten as emotional if I hadn't had my own child. This game broke me. I don't think I've ever been moved like that. The music, the final mission.
Come on, Lou. One last delivery.
I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even talk.
You need to talk for this.
I was already upset. And then as you start walking and the BB theme starts playing, I lost it.
See the sunset.
As we were on our way over there, I was like, maybe I can wake Lou up. I'll rest and like sing, do the whistle, because I never got the harmonica because the musician wasn't there. And just sitting there whistling and zooming in on Lou and him just floating was one of the single-handedly most upsetting moments I've ever had in a game or movies or anything. It was just so sad. And his little health bar being empty, I was 100% crushed. It was beautiful, the relationship with him and Lou and Luis being okay. His acting, Norman Reedus' acting in that scene where he's trying to wake her up, like my heart crushed in a million pieces. He's trying to bring Lou back, and I believe Lou dies. And then is brought back by Amelie on her beach with her necklace, because some people pointed out on Reddit, as I said, there's so many people on Reddit that it's like it's hard to pinpoint like who came up with what idea to credit. So as I'm saying, I didn't find this, I didn't come up with this, but somebody said, you know, everyone was wearing the Amelie knot necklace at the inauguration except for Sam. He wasn't wearing it, and when Lou came back to life, Lou had the necklace. When I saw that scene, I assumed he took it off of Sam's outfit and was holding it as like a token of like, Amelie's why we're here, you know, type of thing. People are saying he wasn't wearing it, and so Lou died, went to her beach, and she still had the necklace in her possession. Therefore, her beach was still open, so the extinction entity was still around and the BTs were still around until that final connection between them, which was the necklace he made for her, was brought into the real world by Lou, and she no longer had it, completely severing their bond, completely severing her beach from the real world. And that's why it rains, and it's not Timefall, it's just rain. The rainbow's right side up, and the rainbow has blue in it, which represents death. A sign of good things to come, that this is over. That's Death Stranding. Now people can go outside. People can come together and become a working society again. Sam has Luis, and it's the future is bright. And that's how I took that. There were also the 5 BBs that were floating over. At first I took that as, did I kill all those BBs in game? Like BB, or not BBs. Did I kill all those baby BTs in game? I thought that was like a reflection of like the amount of baby BTs I killed, because I didn't kill that many in game or sever that many. But every time I did, I got a like from them. So I was like, they're free, they're happy, yay. But at first I was like, oh my god, did I kill 5 and now they're here? Like, oh, welcome to the real world, Lou. Or it's the other BBs that were assigned to all the distribution centers and the ones that basically started the chiral network, and that they were sacrificed in, I'm assuming, an incinerator. Looking at Lou as, you made it, you're the one that made it, just like Sam made it. I just want to see some other people's reactions to the end. And it was like people on Twitch and things and Jacksepticeye, and they were just very like, oh, it's sad, but yeah, okay, we're fine. And I was like, I was broken for that whole scene. I'm like, well, maybe it's because these people probably don't have children. So it really changed me. I was hard as fuck before, like nothing fazed me. I never cried. And now with him, like, he's just completely shaped my world into this whole crazy different world where I have feelings. I hate this. I love this game so much. For the end of the game, I have so much left to do. I only built like 30 out of 72 weapons, structures, or whatever. Like, I have so much to do because I went straight for the story. It took me 48 hours. I will put all of my final stuff right here so you can look at it. Definitely have a ton more to do. And I really, really love that they did the 2 weeks earlier after you were off Amelie's beach and before the presidential inauguration. That is how you continue an open world game, not Breath of the Wild. I was so mad about Breath of the Wild. I don't know why. And the way that they did that is perfect because the Amelie chapter has basically closed and the world is still fucked up outside and you still have the people to talk to and figure out. So I applaud them so much for the way that they handled that. It was great. Oh my god, it was so good. Okay, I just wanted to go over some of the characters and my thoughts about their story and how it kind of all tied together. Honestly, I saw some of the people that are like, what? Wait, what happened? And I'm like, this is probably the most wrapped up a Kojima game has ever been. Maybe MGS3. MGS4 too. I don't know, there's still so much like lore and weird shit going on in all of the games that there's like, it's so many layers to every one of the Metal Gear games that you have to play it like 3 times before you really understand everything going on with all the technical jargon and like the crazy AI system and everything. And I feel like this really helped, like, this is what happened. I don't know, some people probably don't feel that way. I do have a lot of questions still, but I don't think I have the amount of questions I thought I would have had.
My mother may be gone, but I'm here.
Let's talk about Amelie. From the first trailer I saw her, I was like, she's a bad guy. I was like, she looks like the good guy. She's the person we're supposed to be helping, but I bet you money she's a bad guy. I probably have it in almost every one of my reaction videos that she was gonna turn on us at some point. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then she's gonna be like an evil bitch. And in a way, it was true. It was true. Like, she was the enemy, but then she wasn't the enemy. It was really twisted. And it ended up being, you know, Amelie isn't real. She basically, well, she is real. Well, it's all about the ha and the ka, where there's the body and then there's the soul. Bridget was this human and she ended up getting cancer in her early 20s, went into a medical procedure, ended up dying. Part of her soul, Amelie, became on this beach. And so my understanding of beaches is it's sort of like a limbo, sort of like your own personal limbo. You're not moved on to the afterlife. It's kind of like this strange in-between where you're dead, but you're not dead. So Amelie became the extinction entity, which is EE, which the whole time I was just like, Emma Emmerich, EE. She became in charge of extincting the human race. Extincting? Causing the extinction of the human race. Bridget was able to go to the beach and see Amelie, and they were able to communicate in some way. And so that's when Bridget decided to start wearing the die-hardman mask and hide her young face, wait until she was old enough to take the mask off, and then Amelie was now her daughter. Because now they don't look the same. She's older, she's wrinkly. Now Biddy's gonna be like, you guys are exactly the same person. So that was my understanding, and I kind of read some stuff up on it last night in the middle of the night, like trying to make sense of it all. So I have to give some credit to Reddit of that kind of connection. Amelie knew she was gonna like destroy humanity. She saw Sam on the beach as a baby because he died when Cliff got shot. She wanted him to continue living and go out to the other side, so she fixed him. That's how he became a repatriate, and he's able to survive everything. And then you see Cliff Unger in the background in his little suit watching from behind as she sent Sam back into the world of the living. In some crazy way, she was our mother and sister, and Sam obviously spent like a significant amount of time with her on her beach as he was growing up. Don't really understand how that relationship started and happened. That was one of my gripes about it, was that the Amelie Sam situation, so much of the game I was like, okay, so she's his sister, right? Where did he come from? What was their relationship? Like, you could clearly tell he was fond of her and she was fond of him, but you didn't know why. So then I had a really hard time at the end kind of connecting to Amelie of like, I feel like there's something missing there in that story that made me like, maybe if they showed more of their relationship as he was growing up, I would have understood it more and felt more for her, when in the end we decide like, go ahead and like stay on your beach, we're gonna cut all contact. That would have hurt a lot more if it was built up like The Boss and how Naked Snake, that was his mentor, his love, his mother, his sister, his everything. It was literally his everything, and he had to kill her. That is the weight that I wish I had about Amelie. Really, I was like, all right, I'll shoot her. Like, I tried to shoot her almost immediately in that final scene. I was like, my gun's not working, what? Like, when in The Boss, you sat there and you thought about it, you know, and you said, I don't want to pull the trigger, but I have to. So I wish there was a little bit more of that relationship with Amelie. They did they cleared up why she needed the chiral network. She needed the chiral network altogether so she could basically release all of the BTs into the world to cause the last extinction, which she saw really as an end to everyone's suffering. Let's just call it now. Why prolong the terrible world that we're in? But really, she was causing the BTs to come into the world, so it was kind of like, I don't know. I guess I do have a lot of questions still now that I'm talking this out. I do feel like I understand most of it. I do. Like, I have a grasp of it. How I could explain it to somebody else, I don't, maybe I'm not the best at that. I don't know.
We will always be connected.
Cliff, he starts off as just being called a soldier. He doesn't even have the name Cliff, and he doesn't have the name Unger. He doesn't have anything. He's just a soldier. He doesn't remember who he is. And then, you go through World War I, World War II. He starts kind of saying, like, who am I? Where's my BB? All he cares about is, like, where his BB is. His BB has been taken from him, and he doesn't know where he is. And then it's not until Vietnam, which is the last boss fight battle thing, where he looks at you, you look at him, there's kind of like this understanding between them, where now Sam is kind of understanding, like, this was his BB, that's what he thought. You've earned him, you can have him back. I see he's been taken from you. And Cliff gives him a hug, because Cliff is now realizing that Sam is his BB, grown up, and that's my kind of understanding of it. How that worked in with the flashback, because almost that same scene happened later when he plugs into dead BB. That same scene happens while we're learning about Cliff's story, so I don't know how that exactly fits in together, but I thought that was beautifully done. The way that Sam was kind of experiencing it, no one else, he wasn't really there, but he was, and Cliff was talking to him, knowing he was there in this way. It was just beautiful. The story, the way it came together, it blew my mind. I did not see that coming at all. At all. I think in half of my gameplay, I was like, just give him his BB back when we were doing the war situations. I was like, he deserves it. That's his BB. Give him his BB back. And I was like, I was the BB the whole time. Like, that, when it showed the baby, it just blew my mind. That writing, though, that's an amazing story. And that Cliff line, I was just a Cliff. It hit so hard in that moment. It was beautiful. I'd like to think that Cliff found rest in that moment. But yeah, you feel for him, and now we definitely understand why Mads was saying he's not the villain. He's not the villain. He's honestly a victim in all of this. He did nothing wrong. He just wanted his child, but Bridget needed that child to form the Bridge Baby program. So it's fucked up, and Bridget ended up being kind of the most fucked up of all.
Beyond that bridge to the future. And mine.
What's it been, Sam? 10 years?
Tommy Earl Jenkins did a fantastic job. He was very, like, stoic, to the point. Thanks, Sam, you're great. Keep it going. Very, like, one-sided. So I was thinking in my head that he was going to turn out to be evil, because he was too friendly, too all about America. And when you're too, like, positive, go rah-rah America, something's wrong with you. So I thought he was going to become evil, when really he is partly a victim too, but then he also has his hands dirty because of Bridget. So I don't know, he's a conflicted character as well. I'm glad he wasn't just like that one note. He carries pain, and I think it's sad that, like, he lost Cliff and Bridget and everybody, really, so all he has is America now.
Thank you, Sam.
My name is Fragile.
Fragile, we got her story. She's pretty well wrapped up. We found out, why she is the way that she is, the things that Higgs did to her. So I feel like Fragile was a very fleshed out character. We understand her motives, we understand what she's been through and why she's hated and how she's basically misunderstood. And it was really good to see her at the end becoming, like, she's a hero now. I do wish that Sam was a little nicer to her at the end. I would have liked to see them in a relationship, possibly. I know that that's so cliche to like want the male and female character to be together in a game, but I kind of wish there was more there between them. It's cliche, I know, but it would have been nice. But she called out to him, so maybe there was something in the future. Maybe she'll meet up with him and Luis and they'll be together. That would be nice. I would have liked to see that, but that's a little cliche and people probably would have been like, that's too on the nose or whatever, but I like to think that they would.
I'm fragile.
But not that fragile.
The name's Higgs.
Higgs, Troy Baker, was a fantastic villain. He was an asshole. He was a bad guy and he played it up well and it was great. I wish we knew more about Higgs. I couldn't see his motivation until I knew he was working with Amelie, and Amelie gave Higgs his powers by putting the doll in the BB pod. I guess, as Fragile said, he kind of just got like corrupted with power, I guess, and wanted to cause void outs and kill people, and I just didn't understand his motivation, and I really wish we had more of a backstory on him. I found out towards the end of the game that he was the pizza delivery guy. He sent an email, and that's how I knew. And it says like you can still go to his bunker. So that's what I need to do now that I'm after, Tomorrow's Your Hands chapter. I'm gonna go to his bunker and figure that out, because I never delivered a pizza to him because I was really bad at reading my emails at the beginning of the game. So I pretty much missed all of those emails. So I never delivered his pizza. And he was quite mad about that, but he still invited me to his place. So I'm kind of curious to go there and see what that's about. But yeah, I just wish I knew his motivation and his background and his story maybe. That's the thing that Kojima's done so well over all of his games, is he makes you feel for the villains. He gives them a background story. He gives them a good death. Where you leave and you're like, oh, I feel like shit for killing that guy. Higgs, I didn't feel for at all. I didn't feel for him. A bit like Amelie, I wasn't super upset about it. So that's the thing I was missing, because Kojima is so good at doing that. Also, I'm curious why so many people decided to follow him and became terrorists with him when he was a porter before and working with Fragile, was a good guy, and he suddenly turned bad and everyone started following him. I kind of don't know what their motivation is either. Or why would you want to end the world, I guess? Maybe because Amelie's in his brain? Those are some things where I was kind of like, what's going on?
You won the game.
Call me Dead Man. I'm well acquainted with the dead.
I love that character. He was a confidant and we talked in secret. We had weird shower scenes together and it was great. I knew that he was a Frankenstein. I still don't really remember why he's a Frankenstein, why they build him, why does he exist? He doesn't have a ha or a ka. He has a body, not a soul. And he's a great character, and I think that's why he connected with Sam, because he kind of feels different than everybody else, and Sam for sure feels like fuck everybody, and that's probably also part of Deadman. But Deadman does have a soul because he cared about BB, which was really nice to see. I liked their connection. I wish Deadman would know that Luis made it. I'd like to think that Sam, messaged him or something later. Found him in another life. Tell them what's up, since we're not in the UCA anymore.
I trust you'll remember what I said.
All that she went through, I had no idea.
So Mama and Lochna, they were pretty fleshed out. I feel like they were conjoined twins and now they're back together again. That was pretty like a simple but not simple story of understanding that with the two different colored eyes. I thought that was good. I kind of wish that I didn't know he severed the umbilical cord in the preview, because I think it would have had more impact if I hadn't seen it in a trailer. But every time I did see a trailer, I was like, I know that scene's from a trailer. They were wrapped up nicely, I think, and where they belong, really. So it was sad, but fine, I think.
She did all that to keep me and our daughter safe.
Well, you certainly caught me with my pants down.
As I was saying from the beginning, he was like our Otacon of the game. He just reminded me of Otacon, because it's just visually and like he's smart. So I guess he's got that going for him. But I wanted to know what happened to his family. I really wanted to know what happened to his family. Did he find his family? Obviously he's still searching the beaches. So with Amelie's beach being gone, does that mean he'll find them? I don't know. Or he'll just be searching for an eternity. It's really sad, but also a beautiful love story of a man's love for his family, and that he'll never give up. So I guess everything can't be closed, You can't expect answers for everything.
As cliche as it sounds, you're our only hope.
Last but not least, we'll talk about our boy Sam. We spent 48 hours as him. He was very Daryl to me in this game. Norman Reedus is just a great actor, and he's just really good at being that, like, I don't need anybody kind of guy. And obviously Daryl's character has evolved a ton since the first season of Walking Dead. I'm not going to say anything in case people haven't watched it, but I felt the same thing happened with Sam, as he started off as don't touch me, I don't, fuck you guys, fuck all of you, I don't need anybody, into the end being like, we gotta connect, we gotta stay together, it's worth sacrificing Amelie and my relationship with her for the greater good. And I don't think he necessarily would have done that at the beginning of the game. Overall, this little team behind him made him feel a sense of family, and it did change him. And even Fragile touches upon that at the end. She's like, don't act like you're the same person as that person in the cave. Because he's not. He's come a long way. He opened himself to Lou, even though everything he said, everything I touch dies, including Lou at that point. When he kind of rejects Fragile at the end, it's because he figures it's gonna end up bad, or she's gonna die anyway, so why even like do it? So I think Lou being okay at the end, Luis being okay at the end, will be a very bright future for Sam, and perhaps he will meet up with Fragile. I'd like to think that's what happens and reconnect, but he's now an enemy of the UCA for that, which I think is bullshit. I think die-hardman would be like, we're square, dude. After everything you did, I think you're allowed to. I don't give a fuck if it's a direct order or not. Come on. We gave him the gun. It's time for him to do us a favor, so would have liked to see that. But nothing is always perfect. Nothing's a wrap up with a bow, lovely story. But I do feel like a lot of Kojima's games do end with a pretty positive note, except for MGS3. That was so sad. It was so touching, the whole end of this game. And it didn't feel long to me, except for like when I was stuck on the beach, that whole thing. I maybe would have liked to see that in an actual cutscene, but then people would have bitched more because you're not controlling anything at that point. I would have liked to actually see those as fleshed out cutscenes. I think Kojima did a great job of breaking up the cutscenes by having you interact. Whether you were in the scene as Sam as a baby, he kept it where you're doing at least enough. People are complaining about like cutscenes. I'm like, you guys, it's Kojima. What do you fucking expect? Metal Gear Solid 4 was one of my favorite games of all time, and it's probably six hours of cutscenes or something. I'm being dramatic, but it could be. I don't know what to do with my life. But the story, I'm gonna continue playing, but just now that I'm not like striving for that story to conclude or come to the finish, I guess we can just wait and find out what's next for Hideo. Clearly they know how to make a fucking game still. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Despite the lingering questions I have of the character storylines, everything else was pretty damn structured to where you could understand what happened. Just wanted to share my thoughts on the ending. Thought it was great. I cried like a bitch. I can't wait to just keep playing and finishing up and getting to platinum on this baby. It was great. My game of the year, for sure. And I would tell everybody to play this game. And I know it's not for everybody. And when I say not for everybody, it's because people are impatient. They want results faster than this game will provide them. So I get why some people won't like it. But I have a full-time job. I have a almost 2-year-old. I have a husband. I have a house, a mortgage, a car. I have shit going on in my life. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life. And I went on vacation for a week, and I still finished this game before December, and I'm pretty fucking proud of myself for that. And that's a testament to Kojima and how he makes me just want to keep playing the game. And like I said before, kudos to all the actors, voice actors, mocap artists, developers, programmers, the music. Just everything. It was beautiful. I'm sure I'm going to think of a million more things to say when I'm done with this, but I'm going to leave it at that right now. So thank you. If you cried with me, let me know in the comments so I feel better about myself. All right, see you guys later.